Alright guys, well, it's been a lot of work to get this suspension off and redone. It takes a lot of time to repaint these components here. The front end, I replaced most of the stuff. I didn't put the brake calipers back on the front because I pulled them off and they're in pretty bad shape. And instead of wasting all the time in the world sanding these down, repainting them, rebuilding them, by the time I put all that time and money into it, I bought a new set of calipers and they weren't very expensive, so they are on the way. So I will be replacing those when I get them. Now as far as the rear is concerned, everything's ready to go except for the rear hubs. I'm going to replace the rear hubs with the wheel bearings because they've seen better days. Those look like the original factory hubs to me. So I'm going to go ahead and replace those while I'm in here. I have swapped over the drums from my 88 here that I pulled off because they were in much better shape than the drums that I took off this car. So everything's going to clean up really nicely. I've got the new trailing arm bushings in there. It gave me a little bit of trouble, but I managed to get those in. So hopefully the next video I'm going to get these new hubs, my brake calipers, and everything else buttoned up and put back on the car as far as the suspension is concerned. I am going to replace the rear shocks in the back with some EG shocks for now. That's because the 88 EF fork in the rear has the Type R style where it's got the eyelet on the shock. Well, I'm going to be replacing those. That way I can put some coilovers on the car at a later date. But in the meantime, I'm going to throw on the EG suspension. That way this thing will sit a little bit higher and it's a little bit easier to work with. When it sits up higher, I can get up underneath the fender wells and whatnot, especially whenever I go to paint. I think that's going to make life easier, and I won't be able to adjust the ride height anyway until the car is down and complete and everything's in the car and installed, and that's going to be pretty far into the future. So hope you enjoyed today's video. It's been a little bit all over the place, getting this stuff cleaned up, taken off, and put back on the car. Really didn't get a whole lot put back on the car, but we will in the next video. So we'll see you then.